Hi and hello! Today in this new video I want to show you how to draw water. I know from my own experience and from my students that they feel the same. Drawing water is a bit tricky and can be tricky, and you might be struggling with drawing water. My students in my membership Animal Art Club tell me that all the time, that they found it amazing to draw their sweet little duckling in this drawing lesson, but they struggled with water. I want to show you here in that video how to draw water step by step. Enjoy! Oh, wait a second. If you have the dream of bringing animals to life on paper with pastels, but if you are a beginner and don't know where to start, I have a free beginner's guide for you. You can download it in the link below in the description. It's free, and I have packed a lot of tips and tricks into that PDF.
Then let's work on the water here below the duck. Let's choose a darker green. Let's choose 170 for the chromium cream opaque, or you use the olive green for sketching in all these little waves, circles, reflections, darker areas, lighter light reflection areas we have here below our duck. So let's start here. Here below we have a darker area. Just go in here now and sketch in some of these stains here. Here below there is a darker green reflection area, and we also have here yellows in there, so I just make here a green stroke and then here a next little stroke. So just do it approximately. It's really not so I would say it's not so important if you have all these details correct. Just make it fun. Perhaps you experiment a little bit with these darker green areas and the water reflections, or where the water is so blue, where you see the sky. So just play a little bit around. If it's easier for you, you can also use in the sketch a little bit of white, for example, or light blue for the lighter areas here too. I like to do this, then I have a better overview. Where are the blue stains and where are the green ones? Use also a second color in the sketch. Perhaps here some lighter ones. So people are different. Perhaps you prefer to draw the outlines of the lighter stains of the blue light reflections, or it's easier for you to draw the outlines of the darker areas in the water. So this is really totally up to you how you prefer. I most times prefer to do both, then I have a better overview. So we'll use now again the green here and sketch in some green strokes. So here also around these lighter little long round subjects here, I draw in the green. Here we have a lighter highlight. I plot that in with the white a little bit, and also here below it's a white area, a white stripe. I draw a white line here, or a blue light reflection then. So let's see, here we have these. Let's add here below another green line. And so figure out where you would like to have your highlights and where you would like to have the darker reflections. So here it's green, and here We can also bring in here ochres already. You see on the reference photo that there are reflections of the duck in the water. So use the ochre color. So let's use 184 a bit and plot in here these ochre reflections. Also in the sketch, so I prefer that to use different colors also in the sketch here, then we have a better overview than later. Or here is this one here above. I draw over it with a little bit of yellow so that we already have here some different colors in the sketch. Then let's draw in here another area with the green, such a little shape here, and here we have so little waves, and here another, so wavy lines and different shapes. Then let's see, here the border makes so little circles. Let's have a look here above. There is this green. Here, let's take a little bit more time for these fine little details. So perhaps here, plot in a little bit of white where then the lighter highlights are. I try to draw here already in stained, so I find it easier when I just fill out the areas here that should be then light blue, even in the sketch with so little circles, a little bit with the white pencil here. It's easier for me, or just go over very, very gently and just sketch in where these lighter areas then are. You also can draw all the outlines like in a line art, but I find it easier to do it this way. So it's fun to do this water here freehand. So let's have a look here. Okay, I'm way too high with this part. So you see, doing freehand and training the eyes sometimes is really a good thing also for me. So just use a knittable eraser here if you have some things in the wrong place, and remove it. So let's have a look. So here this is, we have here such a little circle to the right, and here is also such a light reflection in a circle to the left. And here, for me, really it's easier to use the lighter color and draw these lighter reflections in, and then add the darker color between. Here a bit, go in between, here such a little stroke, and here some stains between, and here a green area. This then also is green, it's also a little bit grayish here that we can do then later. Then add here a little bit of darker color, it's more than going in to the grays. We can do this with gray, or give it a greenish touch here in the sketch and then go over later with gray. Then we have here so strokes or broader stripes downwards, and then we have here such a, and then here below this white reflection here. This can also be a little more downwards. So let's do this here in this area with green, and here also this triangle between the light reflections. Then we have here a little bit of the blue highlights, then I just sketch it in with white. Okay, and here around are these little circles we have here, so a darker area and then above a lighter reflection, little half circle, and here too draw in so little stains, one upwards here and then here the next, and fill it out between with the darker colors. This is then more gray, or here some stains then upwards here, bringing in here so little things. So all the details we can do then later. So just make now a sketch where approximately this highlight should be, and also the darker reflections. Here we have some more. Here is then the larger area where we will plot in then later light blue. Okay, so here we have then some darker stains too in these reflections below the duck, where we have the feathers of the duck in the water. So then let's see here. Here then on the left side we need again some shapes. So here below the tail, let's plot in here a shape of a light reflection, of a white light reflection. Draw in here the outlines, and here we have another one. Here above it's then really light blue. Here are so wavy lines, curves the water makes here, so half circles and some waves. Also here below draw a wavy line to the left, and this is a little bit bluish then below. And here another shape. Okay, and all the other details we will do then later now. So let's start on the left side and let's draw in here all these details and light reflections. Let's start here above for the tail. Here I would use a little bit of gray, so where the water is so flowing to the left side and upwards a bit here. Let's use 273 and let's plot in here on the left above the tail here a bit of the gray. Also here on the left as a base layer and near the tail, and blend this with this little applicator a bit. It should be. So in this case I use the green that I have on the applicator. It can also be a clean cotton swab. So bring in a little bit of this green powder I have on the applicator, or if you use a paper stamp, use it and mix the gray a little bit with olive green, or you bring in 173 in some little circles here too, and bring in a little bit olive green and mix it with 174 chromium green opaque. So bring in different greens. We can also bring in a skin color like the cinnamon 189 here above on this little wave. So also use the pastel pencils for blending. So go over these layers very gently with the cinnamon here. And then go in, so I also bring in a little bit of the blue pastel pigment here, then on the left. And this is going here downwards to the tail, towards the tail here a bit, and here above a little bit blue. And use a paper stamp for blending this blue. I used the blue Rembrandt. You can also use the light blue, the ultramarine light blue from the Carbutello. It's a very light blue. The ultramarine from the pit is not such a nice light blue, so then you have to mix it with white. Then let's have a look for a sharp white. Let's go in then with white and brighten up here the edges between the darker water parts and this a little bit higher wave here, and bringing in here such a white line at the edge here of this wave, and blend it downwards a little bit in little strokes and circles. And also here I go over in some little circles and follow here the wave that is going downwards here a bit towards the tail, and plotting a little bit white here near the tail, near the duck, with the white. Then let's also use the black a bit here and plot in a little bit of black pastel pigment on the green area, and blend it with the paper stamp a little bit in little circles, going over here gently. Or also bring a little bit Bayern's gray in, so use also here a little bit of the dark gray, 181, the Bayern's gray here, or darken down here some parts of the blue a little bit. Here we can also bring in a little bit of the Bayern's gray and make it smooth. So here below our tail here, it's really dark. Here we can bring in air green and mix it with gray. And then we have here such a darker shape. And here upwards also plot in here some shapes with some so fine ends, so little triangles and tips. And go over with the olive green, 173. So everywhere here where we have such small details, I definitely prefer to work with pencils and not to work with the pastel sticks when it's so narrow and when there are so much details. Pastel sticks is better to use for the larger areas. So here with a sharp olive green, go over the edges, draw so little triangles and ends and all different shapes. Also here below, let's plot in the olive green everywhere where you see the green on the reference photo. Plot it in also here below. So let's work a little bit with the green and plot in a base layer here a little bit downwards. I like to draw part by part. But let's draw this part here on the left side of the leg here first, and plot in here everywhere a bit of the green. Also here we can then add a layer of gray here and color it a little bit more grayish here in this part. Bring in first a little bit of the green. Also here we will then go over with gray, or use a little bit of earth green, 172 here. So here in this area, plot in here a little bit of the earth green, or then the blue later. Or here We can then use a little bit of the blue Rembrandt. I plot in here the blue Rembrandt. If you have the Capputello blue, the ultramarine light blue, then use this. It's also a nice color. Let's then blend the blue pastel pigment here in the lighter areas. Go over with the paper stamp. Remove a little bit pigment that's too much, or just push it into the paper. Pastel mat really allows here a lot of pigment on the paper. Go over here over the base layers gently with the paper stamp. Also the green here I blend. Okay, then let's use the white once more, and let's brighten up here the really lighter reflections where we have the reflections of the sky in the water. Here, go draw a line over it again. And then I draw here so little waves to the right again. Here one upwards, and bring in a thin layer of white, and also move the pencil in some little circles and brighten up the green here a bit. Here we could also bring in the gray, the warm gray 4, 273, and go over the green very gently with a very thin layer of gray. Also here above, near the tail, let's add a very transparent layer of gray. And then also here on the right, bringing in here, on the left, bringing in here a little bit of gray. Here below we have a lighter blue light reflection. I brighten this up a bit more with the white. Plot in here a little bit more white and some so smaller edges. Then let's go in with green here once more. Draw here along the edges of the light reflection, of the skylight reflection, so that here we have again a better shape of this green stain here. Drawing here along the edges once more with green, that they are sharper, or bringing in here such a tip or a triangle, and here a bit more of the green, and go in here. Perhaps let's use here for darkening down this area the Payens gray a bit, and bringing in here a thin layer of Payens gray, and so a wavy line, and so wavy shapes with so wavy lines, wavy edges. Here I also go over gently a bit with the Payens gray, and here bringing in such a round shape with Payens gray, and here a wavy line where the water here is flowing. Okay, here we can blend this with a cotton swab a bit. So I swipe over here gently with the cotton swab, or use again the white and go over these parts here with white, or use the blue and plot in here a thin layer with the 140, the light blue, or add a thin layer here with the blue. Here below, also go add a light highlight area on top of these little waves and light reflections. So below it's blue, and on top let's brighten it up and also draw such a wave here downwards with white. And here brighten up the green a bit and add here white stripes. And the white stains. Here we can also go in a bit with ivory, 103, and work a bit with ivory in the green, or brighten up here some areas with ivory and add so little wavy shapes here everywhere. I'll go gently over the white here, smooth it a little bit with ivory. Bring in a little bit of this yellow touch here. Also here, let's go over this white with the ivory very gently and blend it with the other pastel pencil. So just move it gently over it and make this area, this surface smoother. Let's draw here such a line that is making a curve upwards here, and some more so strokes here, or little stains, little shapes. Okay, then let's work a little bit more downward. So let's use a black. Let's use the black, a sharp black pencil a bit, and bring in here a little bit contrast on these green shapes. Just going over here over the green and darkening it down a bit, or around, bringing here some black strokes around the edges of the light blue shape here. Are also working here in this area a bit with the black with very low pressure, and fill up here some spaces, or draw here a line along on the upper side of the green area, and also here below bringing a black stroke. Can also be a very dark green, but with black here and very low pressure. We bring in here a little bit more contrast into these water reflections, or add here a darker line below these whiter highlight reflection lines. Also here bringing some black details, black shadow strokes here, or here refine that edge here, this shape, this long shape that is going here towards the right. Bringing here a little bit black above. There I move the pencil forwards and backwards. Then let's use the paper stamp here a bit and blend over these black strokes so that they are a bit smoother, not gritty. Mix this a little bit with the green. Okay, also here below, I go over gently here below this blue highlight with the black and plot in here a little bit of the black, darken down the green here a bit, a very thin gentle layer, and then mix it with the paper stamp. Go over here with the paper stamp gently. Okay, then let's use the blue here below a bit. So here we have a smaller stain of blue, and here the other I plot in the blue Rembrandt here again. Here below too a little bit. Here a blue stripe. Okay, then let's blend this so that we don't lose the overview. So blend first the blue here for these two areas and go around with the green. So make it step by step. Otherwise, I quickly lose the overview. So we have here one, bringing in here the green around this stain. A little bit darker is here the part in the middle. Make it here a little bit narrower. And draw also around this stain here with the green. Bringing in here green below our duck. And then we have this longer light reflection part. So I work here a little bit with the white then and brighten up here the lower end and the upper end of this longer light reflection stripe here. Go over it with the white in strokes towards the left and the right here. Move the pencil to the left and the right, and then let's use the paper stamp for blending. So blend this white together with the blue and with the green on the edges here too. Make it smooth. Also blend these little blue stains here above with the paper stamp and the green around. Let's use again 173, the olive green. Bring in here a fine blue stroke, and here a green stroke over the blue, and here a green stain. Also color this blue light reflection here a bit with green, and also bring in here a bit of earth green, 172. So go over this lighter highlight area with earth green. Also over the edges, and also here over this little green stain. Or go over the middle part here with earth green, and also over the rest here a bit. Smooth it a little bit. Then let's use the black. Go in with a black pencil here. Perhaps let's darken down this area, and also here above. Draw over the green, small thinner line here with the black. And also below this stain, darken some parts down a bit and bring in a little bit of a shadow part here too. Move the black pencil forwards and backwards with very low pressure again. And also blend the black and mix it with the green. So it should not be so, there should not be these black dots on it. To remove the grit, go over with the paper stamp. Then let's also bring in again a little bit of white here. I brighten up this part here in the middle a bit with white, or draw a white line around the edges here. Go over, move the white forwards and backwards a bit. Yes, you can also go in with the gray and bring in here a bit of the warm gray 4. Okay, perhaps go over with the finger gently. Yes, and then let's do the next areas here below. So let's use the green. And I draw here around this part with the green line here between. One green line, and then we have below the next green part here. I plot in here below a little bit of the green. Here. We did it already in the sketch. Here are some highlight strokes. Perhaps darken down this part here in the middle with the green a bit. So you can also improvise a little bit and draw your own water shapes here. Really, to copy such a water background is a bit tricky and also needs a lot of time. The question is if you would like to do it, if you have the patience for it, or if it's more fun to do some shapes by your own or to try to draw them by your own. Or just use the photo for an orientation or to take some ideas and then try to draw your own water. Here below the lower part I darken down with the black of the green areas here. Draw a little bit black always over the green and in the lower part here. And also along the upper edges here. Here we have such little shapes with these tips, with these fine ends. Bringing in also here another green, the 174, the chromium green opaque, and plot it in and mix it a bit with olive green and the black. Then use the paper stamp for blending. Let's blend here the black with the green. We can also go in here a bit with a brown ochre, for example, 182. So add another layer with brown ochre here and bring in a yellow color here over this green part. This green stripe above I would make a little bit more grayish with middle gray, and also go in a bit with the black. Darken down the edges with very light, low pressure. Draw a line with black around the edges here. And add white between. So draw here a white area, and then this white area makes a curve. Or here it makes a curve and goes back this line. Let's also plot in a bit white here in this part where we have the light reflections. Here are the light reflections. And here we have these lighter stripes. Go over them once more. So then let's bring in here a bit more of the white and mix it then with blue. And also here below I plot in a bit white and mix it then with blue, just so that I see it here better where these lighter parts should be. Here we can then work more with blue here below. So plot in here the blue towards that part where this longer stain here ends, and also bringing here a bit of blue above. And here over the white a bit blue, and here above too. Here one stroke blue. Also here. And here above I add also a layer with the Rembrandt blue. And then use the paper stamp for blending this. So going over with the blending stamp, with the paper stamp, and blend the blue and the white here together. So this pastel pigment of the soft pastel sticks, mix it with the white of your pencil here, or my pencil here in this case. go over the stripes, and also here blend the blue and the white pastel pigment together. If you're working with the soft pastel sticks, it's really gritty. You have to blend it here. In this small stripe areas, I use the paper stamp for blending. So here we could need a little bit more pigment. So I add here a bit more of the blue here, bringing in another layer of the blue Rembrandt pigment, and then go over with the paper stamp here. Remove a little bit of the pigment that's too much and blend it, push the pigments into the paper. We can also here go over with the finger, make these areas smooth here. Also here again, go over with the paper stamp over the blue. And also I make it smoother then with the finger here. And then let's refine this base layer a bit. Let's use the black and go here in a bit with black where we have here these darker areas. Also here I go over with black and add another black stroke, or here also on each green stripe we need different colors. So also here you need some darker stripes, darker strokes on these darker areas, bringing details, bringing different stains of color here. Here it's a little bit, it's so blurry because we have blended over these little stains here, these long ones. So go around with the black, bring a bit contrast in there and also sharper edges. Blend this then with the paper stamp. Go over the black lines we have added with the pastel pencil. Blend the black lines here. Go over the black lines here with the paper stamp, and then let's go in again with the sharp white and brighten up with the sharp white some areas. So here go around the edges with white and also blend it a little bit with blue, bringing here below a white line. Therefore I'll move the pencil forwards and backwards. Also here above, draw a white line here, move the pencil a bit forwards and backwards. Also here we can draw with the white along the edges and blend it a little bit into this highlight, into the blue, just bringing in here also so different color shapes, a little bit lighter strokes here, some highlights, brighten up the blue or the green a bit with the white. Here we can also draw with the white along the edges here, adding here white, a white outline. Here you can use a bit more pressure and then go over with the white forwards and backwards and make these lines smoother. Brighten up here this part a bit. Also here below I brighten up the upper part of this blue stain a bit with white here. There I use a bit more pressure. If the white is not showing up so good on your pastel stick, powder or pigment, then use a bit more pressure with the white and then blend the white a little bit downwards here, that it's not just a framing line. Here also I plot in a little bit more lighter pigment, or also work with the Ivory 103. Here blend the layers a bit or color them a little bit yellowish here. Also here below, I bring a line with ivory in here and brighten this up a bit, or make just bringing different colors here. The duck is reflecting, we have then more yellows in there, so use ivory to brighten up here some areas, or also go over the blue here with the ivory here below, bringing a yellow layer here, the light yellow layer, the ivory yellow layer here. Also, let's go in once more with earth green, 172 here in the middle part of the lighter reflections of the sky, and bringing some darker stains here, or darker stripes. Blend them always by moving the pencil forwards and backwards, so bringing here so little shadow parts also inside of these lighter highlights. Here, darken down the middle part a bit with the earth green. Experiment a little bit here, add another darker area, or go over in so little circles and plot in a bit of the earth green. Also here, move the earth green forwards and backwards, and just add here these a little bit darker stains here on the light reflections. Perhaps let's work a bit more once more with olive green, 173, and bringing here another layer with the olive green in the middle. Also here that it's not too black, or here a little olive stain, so bringing again a bit more green if needed. Or draw with the green a bit over the black and blend black and green together. Okay, or add here a green stain. Or here, darken this part a little bit with the green. Just move the pencil forwards and backwards gently. Okay, go over here very gently with the finger and blend it a little bit. And then let's use the olive green 173 and fill up this area below our duck with the olive green, with olive green yellowish. So it's an olive green that's going into the yellow color shades. Plot in here a broader stain of the olive green below our duck here in this part. We have here the light reflection, or the reflections of the duck with lots of ochres, yellows in there. So bringing here a bit of the green and also of the ochre colors, like 184, the dark Naples ochre, so especially here below. Let's plot in dark Naples ochre here as a base layer. Also here between, bringing the ochre. Here we have the reflections of the duck in the water. Also near the duck here, use a bit of the yellow of our yellow light reflections of the dark Naples ochre. 184 dark Naples ochre. And here, so move the pencils to the left and to the right and bring in here so lines that are going to the left and to the right, so zigzag lines, or here so single lines. Also do this here in the base layer when you're plotting in here the green and the ochre. Then I go here in this case with the finger over this green and ochre base layer and blend it. Blend it also with the blue here a little bit together. Can also work with the paper stamp, of course, or with your application. Blend it here near the duck. Blend it a little bit between into the feathers here. That all the gray of the paper is gone. That you can see the gray color of the paper anymore. Okay, and go over once more with the finger here. And then let's bring in also darker colors, bring in contrast with black. So we have here this blue stain, there I add a black line above, and here a little bit black, and also I darken with some black strokes starting on the left, and draw some black strokes here to the right, and also below the duck, its shadow. Let's darken this part below the duck down a little bit. Here we already have added black, but darken down these areas. Add here always some strokes with the black, and here I darken down the green. Here below I add a stroke at the edges on the green with the black. Darken down the green with the black, and here bringing in black. And here some black lines, and also this lower stripe here, let's draw along this with the black a bit more, and then just go in with green and mix the black a bit with green. So 174 or the green, the olive green, and go over it here. Use the pencil for blending. It's better when it's more sharp. So I sharpen the green, the chromium green opaque in this case, and make sure here that I have a sharp point. I'm sharpening here the chromium green opaque, and then with the sharp point you can go over these stripes and just use the green for blending the black. So with the sharp point you can draw here along the edges and use the green for blending. Go over the black forwards and backwards here, and just use the chromium green opaque pencil for blending. It's very sharp. It's working better as the paper stamp in this case, and also the nice effect is that you color this black stripe greenish, and it's more a green in the light reflections than a black. Also here it should be a very dark green, and when you go over the black here with the green, then you mix a dark green. You mix more a dark green here, so there should be more dark green areas here. You can also use a very dark green by itself, but if you don't have a lot of green pastel pencils at the beginning, or we don't need green a lot, so you can also mix your green colors when you do more backgrounds. Go with the finger over it gently. Also go in with the olive green a bit here, bringing in more olive green, or go over the darker black areas here with olive green. Mix in olive green also over the yellow here a bit. Mix yellow with olive green and mix in here so little stains. So I move the pencil a bit to the left, a bit to the right, and just bringing in here over the ochre area some stains. Some are broader, some are thinner. Darken down this lower part here with olive green and plot in olive green here below. And blend the olive green a bit to the left. Also this longer shape we can color a little bit greenish here, or use the olive green here for blending. Let's bring in more ochres here. 183 we can use and bring in here as an area here between the light reflection here and the reflections of the duck here, bringing in here a little bit more of the ochre of the 183 light yellow ochre. Draw over here in such a zigzag line. Or here again we need some reflections of the yellow feathers. Draw so lines to the left and to the right. Also here I bring in again these yellow strokes, or here one, and here one, and here one, and here below two. We can also use 187 a bit here, the burnt ochre, and bring in an orangey touch here in the water. Going over here a bit with burnt ochre, and go in with ivory 103 and brighten up here and there with very low pressure these little reflections of the feathers here. Perhaps also here bringing in some light reflection strokes too, and blend it with the finger. Then I use white, and let's go in here over this little sky reflections we have here. Bring in white below and above a little bit, and here too we have here another black. I've drawn it a little bit different than on the reference photo, but you can really create your own shapes. With every movement the duck makes, the water is changing their shape, so the photo is just a moment picture, so it changes all the time. Just make sure that you have light reflections and darker areas and reflections of the duck below here. Bring in some colors of the duck below here in this part where we have the reflection. Brighten up here again this lower part and bringing a bit of white and blend it. Drawing in here a white line and blend it. Here we can use the paper stamp and blend the light blue and the ochre together so that these stains are going into each other here. Here the same, here too, that they're going into each other. So blend them together here too. Blend the green and the lighter the lighter reflections together. Okay, let's go in with our 140 a bit, the light blue, and add a very thin layer. Just bring it here a bit. Also the Payens gray, so I add 181 a bit here in the middle of this reflection, and also here between I go in a little bit with Payens gray and move the pencil from the left to the right, and then blend it gently here with the paper stamp. Go from the left to the right, that there are so very thin strokes. Okay, yes, then let's work Perhaps let's bring here a bit more of the green once more. 174, perhaps here below. Bring in here a bit green once more, also green lines to the left, to the right, or also do it with the black when they are not showing up enough. Add some lines here with the black, so forwards and backwards a bit, or to the left and to the right a bit. Darken them down and blend them. Okay. Perhaps here too with very low pressure, so just a very thin black line, and then here too. Bringing in here a black line, or draw here once more to the left. Then here I need the paper stamp for blending, that it's not so gritty anymore. Go over with the paper stamp and blend it. Okay, and then also with the finger a bit. The rest of the water is part of the lesson in our drawing community Animal Art Club. Okay, so I hope this insight into one of my drawing lessons in my online drawing school Animal Art Club was helpful for you. My students there can draw the whole little duckling, this sweet little duck. And here you have seen how to draw the water. I hope this was helpful for you. If you are thinking about drawing animals, and if you struggle with techniques or would like to improve your drawing skills, then join the waitlist. You can also find the link below in the description to be informed when Animal Art Club opens the next time. It's an amazing community. We have wonderful students there, hundreds of people that are supporting each other. This is more like a friendship in this community, not only lessons. I support them. We have Q&A calls and live drawing sessions, and art can do so much more for you than only drawing animals. It will change your life and will have such a great impact on your own life. So do something for yourself. Drawing is so much fun. And then I see you in the next video. I hope so. And don't forget to subscribe, and I wish you a lot of fun with drawing and with your art. Bye bye.